This video is on the topic of transpiration in plants. Transpiration is the loss of water by evaporation from the leaves of plants. Plants take up water from the soil via their roots by the process of osmosis. Water moves across the root into the xylem before moving upwards in the xylem towards the leaves. When water reaches the leaves, it evaporates and is lost from the underside of the leaves by a pause known as stomata. Remember that transpiration is the eventual loss of water from the leaves. Don't confuse this with the upward movement of water in the xylem. When water reaches the leaves, it moves out of the xylem vessels and into the cells of the leaf. Some of this water will enter photosynthetic cells where it can be used in photosynthesis, and some will evaporate from the surface of cells in the spongy mesophyll layer into the leaf air spaces. This raises the concentration of water vapour in the air spaces and results in the diffusion of water vapour from the inside of the leaves to the outside down a concentration gradient. This diffusion occurs via the stomata. It seems odd that plants would go to all the trouble of transporting water from the soil to the leaves, only for it to be lost in transpiration. But there are important reasons why plants need to move water around. First of all, remember that water is a reactant in the process of photosynthesis, reacting with carbon dioxide to produce glucose and oxygen. Secondly, plants need minerals such as nitrates and magnesium ions, and these mineral ions are moved around the plant dissolved in water. Another essential role of water is to assist with structural support. The cells of plants that lose too much water will become flaccid and floppy, resulting in the plant wilting and eventually dying. So all of these processes mean that water is needed in the leaves of plants. But because plants need to keep their stomata open for the process of gas exchange, water loss via the stomata is unavoidable for plants. This exam question asks us to describe how water is lost from a plant by transpiration. Take note of exactly what the question is asking about. It isn't asking about the movement of water into the roots or through a plant, but focuses on transpiration. There are 3 marks available, so quite a detailed answer is needed. Your description should include the evaporation of water from the surface of mesophyll cells in the leaf into the air spaces. This water, now in the form of vapour, will diffuse out of the leaf through the stomata. Take note here of underlined keywords such as evaporates and diffuses. When a word is underlined in a mark scheme in this way, it means that you won't get the mark if you don't include the word. It is always a good idea to include as many biological keywords as possible when answering exam questions. So, in summary, transpiration is the loss of water by evaporation from the leaves of plants. It occurs when water evaporates from the surface of mesophyll cells in the leaf. The resulting water vapour then diffuses from the air spaces in the leaf into the surrounding air through the stomata.